the U73b compressor. This thing's been around since the 60s, guys. It is a compressor limiter. I would say it's used most often on mastering, but you can use it any way you like it. It's from the good people at Audified, and that is one cool name. My name, by the way, is Kern, and I post homerecordingweekly.com, and this demo is kind of a joint venture. It's brought by, of course, Home Recording Weekly, but it's also brought to you by the good people at Modern Producer Magazine. If you're into making music with DAWs in today's digital age, you owe it to yourself to head over to the Modern Producer and check out some of their posts. These guys are pros and they know what they're doing, and well, you'll learn something, I swear. We are going to put this on a track, and I'm going to try some settings. I'm going to talk you through this. There's really not much to it, but let's listen to the track first. I'll stop talking.
Everything I've ever known, and goodbye, my love. You deserve better than what I've shown, but have faith in me as I figure out who I want to be.
Okay, that's a track I recorded with some friends. I think this guy's an incredible singer, and they're all great players. However, it was never finished. It's just one guitar and a vocal, and I went and did the stereo widening thing, and it sounds very odd, the guitars do anyway. But you know what? So what? I wanted you to know that it's not this plugin that's making that sound if you did notice. Guys, I noticed some things right off the bat when I was playing with this compressor, and I've been using it quite a bit on a few different kinds of music. Let me say, it takes a while to get used to the way this works when I switch it. Any of these settings down here or any of these settings up here, it must act like the original unit. And I'm not familiar with the original unit. It's all tube, all analog, of course, from the 60s. But this thing kind of jumps and it takes it a minute. Now watch, I'm going to push play, but watch this needle when I move stuff.
Goodbye, my home, and everything I've ever known, and goodbye, my love. You deserve better than what I've shown.
What I was noticing is kind of a spike, and then it would get to know what's happening and calm down a little bit. So I suppose the original unit kind of did that. Anyway, let's just look at this plugin. There's 3 settings up here. I don't know German, but I know what these settings are. This one, you can see comper, right? That's compressor. That's close. This BEGR over here is a limiter. Now, this compressor is a really low threshold, like you would want on a mastering compressor. And the limiter is not like that, but it has a soft knee. And this big word in the center here, this center position, center detent, is bypass. And there's a bypass down here where you can turn the plugin on and off up here. Now, I did some volume matching with the calibration and the ins and the outs, just so it wouldn't be louder when I turned it on to kind of throw you guys around. The meter up here, you have your input level, your gain reduction, that's actually happening in your output. And of course, I have it in gain reduction. There are presets here and 3 settings here that are very interesting. There's actually 4, but individual, left, right, and left and right. And I have it in left and right, and I hope I'm not making some kind of mistake with that. And there's a high pass filter. From being on YouTube and reading on their website, this is about 100 hertz and below. It gently rolls off. Let's look at their website just for giggles. This is Audified Audio Research and Solutions. It says it's $149. I believe that's US money. Don't hold me to it. I don't know. Again, I'm doing this as a review. They make a bunch of cool plugins. All the information you need is there. It's U73b compressor from Audified. There'll be a link to that, of course, on the website. So let's listen to this thing. I'll bypass it and then I'll turn it on.
Have faith in me as I figure out who I want to be.
So this is probably the weakest compressor setting. These numbers here that grow in black are the release times. So it's a very fast release and a very low threshold on a compressor. So as you imagine, as they bring it up, there's going to be a longer release time, so more compression happening. I'll just do that real quick.
If this is supposed to be the time of my life, then why do I feel so lost on the inside?
And it seems like I've got this thing not dialed in. My song has, as you can see, there's some crazy dynamics in here. So when it's quiet, it's not really hitting the threshold, so you're getting full volume. And then when you get full volume, you guys see it's killing like 3 or 4 dB off the top. So bear in mind, this nothing is dialed in. I literally dropped this track in here so I could do this demo, and it's one of those things. I have to show you this somehow. Please don't judge me on the music. I'm not using this to master the song in any way yet. I just want to show you guys this cool plugin. So the 3 over here in red, and this is trippy stuff, it listens to what the material you're running through it is, and it kind of comes up with its own settings. So I'm going to listen to the outside too and see what we think.
Goodbye, my home, and everything I've ever known. And goodbye, my love. You deserve better than what I've shown. But have faith in me as I figure out who I want to be. If this is supposed to be the time of my...
I'm going to tell you guys, I really like what's happening. Not that there's anything below 100 hertz on here, but let's just plug in the filter and see what we get. I'm going to bring this back over here to the quickest setting, and do know if it dips below the threshold, that is, there won't be much. But that's good because you actually get to hear the compression happening. When he sings, this thing is compressing pretty good. So keep that in mind. Let's try the high pass and see what happens.
Goodbye, my home, and everything I've ever known. And goodbye, my love. You deserve better than what I've shown. But I have faith.
I can hear that. There's something down there happening in the 100 hertz, and I guess when I did this song, I probably had everything below 20 rolling off, or not below 20, but from 20 up to, I don't know, maybe 30 or something. So it's interesting that there are things happening down there, and I like it with the high pass filter in, and I like it with it out. So I guess it's up to your taste. Let's go ahead and play with the limiter here and see what we get.
Within me, as I figure out who I want to be. If this is supposed to be the time of my life, then why do I feel so lost on the inside? No, I don't want to be another face in the crowd. I have chances to take and songs to sing out loud. What I'm trying to say is after today, I'm heading to LA. Na 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 na. I'm heading to Los Angeles. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna find.
It's very interesting to work with this because I'm used to using ratios, and there's no ratio here. You see I'm playing with the input and the calibration up here to get the dBs where I want them, and then when it's barely working, but I know, like for example this limiter, I know the ceiling is there even though I can't really hear it working. It seems to be rather transparent, and it sounds really rich and wonderful. Like, even though the guitars are phasey, I really like what it's doing to the guitars, and I would use this on vocals without even thinking about it. I guess because of the simplicity of the whole unit when mixing and not mastering, I would put this on a vocal along with other compressors and things that I like to do with no problem. I like this compressor for vocals and probably acoustic guitars, and I can't wait to try it on all kinds of other things as well. Now, just because this is what I do, and man, I love what I do, I found another song I'm working on that has acoustic guitars. I couldn't wait to hear this on raw, unprocessed acoustic guitars. I shouldn't say unprocessed, there's probably an EQ on here, but there's no compressor on here on this stereo bus. It's two acoustic guitars, and I literally set this thing on here for the longest release. It's not program dependent. It's not telling me what time based on the material. I put it on out of the 3 releases because I wanted to hear what kind of attack this thing has. So I'm going to put it in bypass, play it, and then bring it in. And here we go here in just a second. I can really hear the high pass filter, so I'm going to take that out of the circuit just so I can get a better judge for what's going on here. And let's try this again. I lowered it because that was really taking a lot. the 1.2 release time was kind of heavy, so I put it here to the 0.6. Let's check that out. And again, it's bypassed. I'm about to bring that out. Well, it's a soft distortion guitar, soft distorted guitar preset that I put in here, and I just quickly did the inputs and outputs to match the reduction I wanted, and then made the level in bypass and out of bypass about the same. Let me tell you, I can hear what I expect. That, you know, I'm hearing more of the body of the instrument that was recorded. I sound closer to the guitar, like my ear is closer to the sound hole. And what I was not expecting, but what I really like, is I can hear a lot of that sparkle, that acoustic chime that I really like. Like the strings sound really nice when I turn this on. Let's check here and see what I have. Yeah, I've got a Pro EQ on each of these acoustics, and as you can see, I'm probably making these EQ settings a lot louder. As you can see, the highs here, I've got a pretty good boost going on there. So obviously it's doing what it's supposed to. It's boosting those EQs. Let's go ahead and knock those off just because I can. And we will see. Now there's no EQ coming in here. I'm going to put it back in bypass, and here we go. Okay, makes them louder, like you're closer, and I can hear a lot of low end. So I'm going to engage the high pass this time. Don't let that throw you. You'll notice that immediately, but just let's listen to the rest and see what we get. I'm going to go on the record and say I like what it's doing to the acoustic guitars. It seems to have a little bit of an attack going on there, and it might be the reduction is a little more than I like, the way that I quickly set it up. It might be confusing my ear, but I really like how it puts a beautiful top end on the acoustic, just like it did the song that we were listening to. It's really, really, I want to say a forgiving, but that's not the word I'm looking for. It just puts a nice, beautiful top onto whatever it is it's compressing, and it's not a strong compression. It's great for mastering, I bet. This thing is amazing. It's very transparent, and it's very musical, and I'm going to leave it at that. It's a wonderful set it and forget it. After just a couple of settings, you get something that sounds very pleasant and very likable. That's my take on this. It's the U73b compressor from Audified, and you can head to Home Recording Weekly. It's in, if you're on YouTube, there's a link right there in the description that will take you over to the review post for this piece of kit, this plugin here, the U73b from Audified, and there'll be links there to the website and some other things. And thanks for hanging out with me for about 20 minutes checking out this compressor. I felt it deserved at least 20 minutes of my time to explain to you what it is I'm finding, and I'm so glad you guys hung out with me and checked this out. Thanks for your time, and I've got a ton of videos, and I also give away free ebooks that detail how I made my own acoustic room treatment, do-it-yourself style. There's plans in there, links to all of the materials that I needed to build them. There's a video in there that shows you the finished products, bass traps, broadband absorption panels. It's all in there. It's called Acoustic Room Treatment Made Easy, and you can have it if you head to homerecordingweekly.com. Again, my name is Kern, and thanks so much for your time, and please check out the Modern Producer magazine while you're at it. Audified, thank you for allowing us to do this demo.